Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, I hope that you all are having a good weekend. I'm here to bring you another video. This video is on coffee as a spirit offering. Before we get into that, I want to mention a couple things. Please subscribe and like to this video. Also, I have an Etsy store you all probably know about. Feel free to go check it out and favorite the shop. I'm adding attunements each week, and I'm going to add a really I'm adding one that has been asked for this week, so I'll let that be a surprise. So an attunement is basically a spiritual connection to a particular entity. Once you are tuned to the energy of that entity, whether it be an angel or maybe even something a little darker, you're able to channel that energy of that spirit, the essence, the archetype, in order to level up your magic, improve your life, design your life the way that you want it to be. But we have some people in my group who are making some really good changes. Pleasant surprises, unexpected twists and turns in the right direction. So, okay, enough about that. Let's get into the video. Coffee as a spirit offering. So, I just kind of want to mention briefly the history of coffee, just to kind of show how this all fits together. So, if you look at looking at the early thoughts about coffee, you usually come across some legends, much of it apocryphal, about it goes something like this. Some goats or some birds start feeding on the coffee fruit plant, and when they eat the berries, they become energized and lively, and this is observed by some human, and they I'll say, I'll try that, I'll put that in my mouth, and they eat it, and they themselves have more energy, more focus, their mood's improved. And then that supposedly is how it started. However, if you look at the more reliable written records of this, you'll find that coffee first shows up in the Muslim world, where you have people who their faith is Islam, will, during Ramadan, they will drink coffee. It helps them with their fasting. It'll help them with their focus, help them with their prayers. Likewise, you see the Sufi mystics, the mystics of Islam, who were using it for their prayers, for their chanting, the chanting of the name of God, in order to enhance their spirituality and to help commune with the divine. So you start to see how coffee starts to enter into and the relationship between coffee and religion and spirituality. In fact, these Sufis also, they brought coffee from Ethiopia to Yemen and started crops of coffee, which then kind of spread, and it started to go out from there. Now, when we're talking about coffee, when I was doing research about this, in fact, a while back, I came across some interesting things. There was one writer who said, coffee, in a way, has a relationship to alchemy. He says, it's the only beverage that I can think of that comes in contact with all four elements. So as I read on, what the writer said was that, okay, so coffee the plant is grown in the earth. It is dried in the air. It is roasted by fire. And then it is extracted into water. Something to think about. Also, when I was doing research, I found that people were using coffee in ways that I had never heard of in their spiritual practice. In Greece and Turkey, they were using it for divination. I found a coffee being used as a spiritual bath. And if I remember correctly, the ritual was, in case you want to take notes, pour 2 cups of coffee into your bathtub, your bath water, half a lemon, a pinch of salt, and then you take a bath and you air dry with it. And that is going to be for spiritual purification and cleansing. For whatever goal that would be, maybe before you, as a ritual to do before you do some type of practice like divination, card reading, or to rid yourself of parasitic entities before doing some type of ritual work. Also, for the people that are more, I found it, who believe in the LOA, L-O-A, the law of attraction, not the Voodoo LOA. But what I found people were doing was getting quiet in the morning, thinking about how they wanted their day to go, what type of opportunities and blessings they wanted, and while they were thinking about that, they were stirring their coffee counterclockwise. The second part of that would be if you were somebody who wanted protection, or they wanted to, I guess, confuse the forces of evil or entropy or any type of Saturnian type of influence. What they would do is to also imagine them get through the day without problems, and they would stir their coffee counterclockwise. Now that shouldn't be, for those of you all who know about rituals of witchcraft, of Wunderschöns and Diasil, you'll find that to be the case too. Or you'll see that type of idea. Or the waxing and the waning of the moon in magic. Same sort of deal. Okay. So, as far as offerings are concerned, now that we're on that part, I ran across readings about people, and I believe in Espiritismo and Santeria, using coffee as offerings to their various entities. One in particular, I remember reading, they were leaving the coffee as offerings for the archangels and the saints. Now, I myself have used the coffee for the last couple of years in a couple different ways. And one of the reasons why I came to this conclusion is that because it is a universal drink and it has been around a long time, and it is part of the fabric of society. In fact, when economists believe that coffee it was a major influence in the expansion of the economy, not just technology and industry, but that you had something being ingested that would make people work harder, work longer, have more focus, be in a better mood. If you even look at certain products for pain relief, some of them have caffeine in it, and that's because it has a mild analgesic effect. So when you have all of that, it's no wonder that we as humans have become attracted to it. But, setting all that aside, I thought of coffee as an offering because it's kind of a universal drink among humans. So I started to think, okay, so I'm going to start incorporating this into my ancestor veneration. So I would call in my ancestors and then do the coffee offering. And I will tell you that when I started calling specifically my ancestors, that you can feel almost like the spirit start to stir, the energy start to change. And that's not surprising to me because, as my parents and my grandparents and everybody is deceased, they were all big coffee drinkers. Maybe that's where I got it from. So it's not only when you are in the spirit world, you still sometimes cling to some earthly things. And so it doesn't surprise me that that would be something that would be attractive. And now, of course, they're not actually, when I talk about offerings, I know most people probably know this, they're not actually drinking the coffee because the non-physical can't work with the physical in that way, but they're extracting the energy, the essence of it. However, I'm fairly certain that the experience of it would be probably similar to the actual substance. The next layer of why coffee would be attractive is because of, one, that it's stimulating, and it is typically served hot, traditionally served hot, so that you have the element of fire. So it has the capability of making spirits more energized and more action oriented. Now, I've done coffee with spirits that are more gray and a little bit to the dark side too. One is symbolic. Coffee is dark, it's black, and it's still energizing. And I really haven't had any particular entity say or get the feeling that, hey, this is inappropriate. We tend to, as for offering go in general, we try to tailor it to the particular spirits, but let's say you had a practice where you were kind of calling in spirits as kind of a daily ritual. Universal type of things work pretty well, like coffee. Okay, so that is basically it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Also, again, please subscribe and like. Check out the Etsy store. I'll put the link in the description in the bottom. If you want to know more about attunements or the group, I have a Facebook group, so feel free to hit that link in the description, and I'll accept you into the group, and you can kind of look around. All right. Well, I will talk to you all later, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay? Take care.